Hey guys, welcome to our third weekend, and this week is, third art jam as well. So I hope everyone is keeping safe and doing their best to do so, and doing the best they can within this situation. This week, the theme is a little bit different, so we're actually going to do a space theme, and I thought that was really cool because we really enjoy space. So why don't these ArchViz people kind of develop something that's out there in the world? I'm going to have Antoine, Lukasz and Timon to help me with this, and we've basically jammed out quite a few concepts, and we took those concepts into final image, more or less final image, if you can ever call it that, within the short time we do it, and we've come up with an image that we think is quite interesting. Don't forget, this week, as last week, a lot of people said, you know, can you put down the renders so we can download and we can try our own stuff? We've actually included the renders below, so you guys can grab that. And also we've included the PSD, which of course helps us prolong the channel and take a little more of our time to keep things going. Whatever you guys come up with, please send it to us at info@archi9learn.com. And you could join us here with the Art Jam, because I know a couple more people are going to be joining. Drocky, Mike from Drocky will be joining. And at the end of this video, we have a small, well, I wouldn't say Q&A, but I would say a small gathering of all of us, the team, the Archi9 team, everyone in their house, and kind of a small Zoom chat with sincerity above all else of what it is to be in this. And you can hear it direct from the guys, and it's also a big hug to all the team who don't appear here in the videos and who are doing a stellar job. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, just comment, like, subscribe below, buy the PSD, all these other things that you can do to support the channel. And thank you guys, thank you for all your support. It's been amazing, the feedback that you guys all give us, and yeah, to another one. Okay, so we're here with the team, as you guys know, Lukasz and Timon, which you've already met, and I don't believe you've met Antoine from our team, who's a junior concept artist who works with us as well, and who is kick-ass as well, and is here today to also help out in this one. So all these sketches and concepts you guys see right now, these are the sketches and concepts that were developed by Timon and then Antoine. And the whole idea behind this, so as we said, is to have a theme every week, and this week's theme was space. And the idea again is just to go full out creativity in this and to really enjoy ourselves. So with that in mind, Timon and Antoine came up with these various concepts. I think these were Antoine's and these were Timon's. And maybe we'll start off with Timon talking a little bit about his concepts and how he sketched them up and what are his thoughts behind his concepts.
Yeah, sure. So hi, everyone. Good having you here this week as well. So for my concepts, I've seen Antoine's first takes, and I've noticed he was working with this ISS model very closely, so more close-ups. And I was like, okay, actually, what fascinates me about space is the immensity of it, like the scale compared to us, how small we are. So I try to represent that in my visuals. So I actually made the decision to show the ISS more from further away and really give space and let the stage to the what surrounds it. So the space itself, the planets, just the emptiness. And another quick idea I had was, I think this actually came because we discussed a lot of Ad Astra lately, but of having this some sort of stops in between planets for long space travel, maybe in the future. So actually people could stop on a planet, you know, for a while and then just keep on going with the journey. So my concept 9 and 10 were more inspired by this, but I still try to keep, you know, the ISS model quite small in comparison to the environment.
I think we talked, we watched Interstellar this past weekend. We didn't even talk to each other, but I'd watched Ad Astra and Interstellar, and Timon I think had as well. And I think Antoine was talking about Blade Runner, and Lukasz, you were talking about The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually just watched Star Wars prequels, but it's not a great reference, is it?
The Jar Jar Binks, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I was just having fun, you know?
Anyway, Antoine, I think, these look awesome, all of them. Like, they're so cool, and I mean, it's so awesome to just see how you guys developed all this, and very quickly as well, might I add. Tell us a little bit about your concepts and what you've come up with, so that we may select one of these in the end and take it to final.
Okay, so what I like about space is that it can get pretty lonely. Actually, I like this mode very much. So I thought maybe do some very isolated spaceships without any stars to get a stronger mood.
I think we started with as well. One thing I forgot to mention is one of the things we had to use was actually the ISS spaceship, which we have a free model, which Lukasz worked up a little bit in 3D.
Yes. So we got that model, and we will edit it a little bit. We don't want the exact same shape as ISS because let's be real, it's quite boring. It's just a massive rectangle. So in the later part, we'll see how we edited it to make it a bit more dynamic, a bit more interesting, and yes.
Anyway, go for it. Sorry, Antoine. You were talking a little bit about your concepts.
Yeah. And I had like two specific ideas in mind. The first one was like I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, and at the end, the bad guys does like a monologue about how he saw sea beams in the sky near the Tannhauser Gate. And the second one was the Voyager 2 space probe. Maybe a ship can fly by the probe and pay its homage.
Kind of like flying through I mean, this is reminiscent of that black hole, just completely different in Interstellar, and where it's flying by. And even this one is, I find this one super interesting as well.
Yeah, I love all the crazy colors, to be honest. Like for me, the second one, the fourth and fifth are really, really good because it's quite an unusual take about space, because you see on mine that straight away went to this lonely dark moods. I think you started this way as well, but it's a bit more generic, if I may say so. And that's why I'm really a big fan of especially the second one and the fifth, because all the crazy colors is not something we're really used to seeing in space.
Well, you can see
it's
it.
reminiscent.
But go on, sorry, Antoine.
Yeah, it's like Marvel. Like Marvel does all that kind of stuff when it goes to space. I figured why not.
Anyway, guys, going forward, I think we all kind of reached the conclusion, of our preferred one. I think my preferred one was the second one, just because of the colors. I was very divided between actually these ones, but I feel the second one would be the one to take forward. What do you guys feel?
Yeah, I think it's also my favorite one. First of all, the tribute to the monologue in Blade Runner is amazing. I love this monologue a lot, and the first Blade Runner movie as well is just a crazy good reference. And also, I think it's one of the most original ones. Like you can see in this mood board how much it stands out from the rest, which I really like.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm repeating myself, but actually I really like the challenge of making such crazy colors and such a palette for a space image. I just love it.
I think the origami we can also shoot in there. But all these are great ideas that we could even develop in the future, in future ones. So guys, I think we're going to take number 2 forward, just because of its originality, how incredible it looks, to be honest. And we're going to go through this now with Lukasz, who's going to go to the modeling stage, and then we're going to jump into refinement and post-production, and then we come up with the final, and we can do our final critique as well. So let's get onto that, guys.
Yeah,
awesome.
And I have to say, like, Timon, you did a great job. Like,
thanks, man.
There's no
whiskeys
in this, guys. By the way, you got your whiskey, yeah, Timon? You're gonna get it on Sunday. I sent you a screen.
Yeah, it's in the mail. Thanks, guys. I'll make sure to grab a photo once I receive it. Don't worry.
All right, guys, let's go to the next stage. So, okay, guys. So now we have Antoine with his sketch that we're going to later develop, which Lukasz will take in 3D as well. So, Antoine, tell us a little bit about your thought process and how you went about this.
Okay, so I know pretty much what I wanted to do because I had the idea for a long time. But
So you had this idea of taking the C-beams and just making a crazy sci-fi-ish image with it. So this was kind of the opportunity for
yeah,
you to make it.
exactly.
So you took the easy way out, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to add some clouds like a nebula, so it's in the darkness of the Tannhauser gate. I saw that the Tannhauser gate was actually a binary star system, so I put some 2 stars in the background very early on. And then I went on a free software called Apophysis, and I did some beams.
Nice, and just added some nice glow.
Yeah, exactly.
Really cool.
I think they look awesome. When you put them in there, it really gives something else.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's also the way you create the depth in there, because it's not easy to actually create depth or layers of distance in space. But here you've got like this dark cloud in the front, and then you have like this the further away it just fades. Like the dark is actually really grayish, and that works pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty tough because in space there is no atmosphere.
You don't have any mountains to push some depth to, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So basically, here the mountains are the sky, the clouds. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We talked a little bit about this when you were doing yours, Timon, about the difficulty of space. You cannot push much depth into it because there is no depth at all. It's I mean, this is a bit of a way to get away with it, right? Where the depth helps us distinguish the form of the spaceship and distinguish and the nebulas as well kind of act as that depth to give form and lighting.
And I also like the way you actually drew the ISS instead of just taking straight away a model, because it gives like some sort of character or some shapes that actually in 3D would have been difficult to match or to actually start with straight away. And now we can actually get inspired by it and try matching the 3D later on to actually what you drew.
Like at first I knew that I was going to get lost in the process if I photo bashed early on. That's usually what I'm doing, like I photo bash, but here it's
because
a bit...
it was all about laying your idea first and then trying to okay, I see.
Exactly. And then after I photo bashed because I knew where I was going with this.
It's super cool, and it's super cool that you actually don't use a lot of layers, and it's a very simple, efficient way of working in the best way possible, right? Not simple in like a negative way, but a very positive, like simplifying of everything. So you actually are able to keep the idea and the flux of the drawing very quick and going.
It's all about translating this idea, right?
It's not post-production. It's just it's a sketch. So if it's not high resolution, if it's like if the layer management is all over the place, it's not big deal. It's not gonna be finalized.
That's super cool. How was it when you picked up the model, Lukasz? When you saw after what Antoine had come up with, kind of jigging around with the NASA model?
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was pretty similar because he used pretty much the elements from photos from what we used as a model, right? So it wasn't too difficult to just fiddle around and get it to that stage. And I think the shape's really cool. It works really well. And it was pretty fun to do, to be honest, to go that direction.
I don't think we haven't done any space stuff, right? Even
we did.
We've done something similar. we had something, but it wasn't like spaceship orientated. But yeah, I remember that one. We can't say names, but I know the one you're talking about. But yeah, I find this one super cool. I really like it, and it has. I actually have the vinyl for Interstellar, and it reminds me a lot of it.
That would make for a crazy good cover, I have to say. I can't wait to see the final.
Yeah, I think now it's up to us to take it a bit further, isn't it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go, Lucas. Time for your 3D model challenge.
Do it. Right, so here we got the model actually from NASA website. There is a lot of free models they just give away, so we're probably gonna leave a link to that below. So we took an International Space Station. Here I'm just splitting it into parts because as it is, really nice model, it's not very compositional, just a big rectangle. So I split it into parts. I took these components they had. If you're just looking for other stuff. So I took these components they have, split them, just placed them around in space, and then I just started taking them and trying to create a different shape, something more similar to what we have on a sketch. Here was just one of the tests we did. Then we decided on a specific sketch we want to go with, and there's the part where it's actually taking the proper shape.
So you worked on the materials as well a bit, right?
Yes, but not all of them, because these models they're great, but they're very complicated. So I just took the main elements that we see, the bigger ones, and I just did materials for that to give it a bit nicer feel. But all the detailed elements, I just kept them as they were.
You did basically what Antoine did, just in 3D space.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just pretty much the same thing. So
yeah, super cool, super duper cool. I think it looks awesome as well. I think you did a great job with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it came out really nice, and it was super easy to go with Antoine's sketch because he used pretty much the same model, right? But obviously he used photos, but it's the same object, so it was quite easy to fiddle around and get it right. And yeah, nice. That's it.
So now we jump into the post-production and the refinement of Antoine's beautiful sketch, and kind of bringing that up to a nice level. I think Antoine's version was really good, and the idea behind this was to kind of come up with something that was similar to that. I think Antoine's was already really good, so I didn't really I was like, I'm not going to really improve on this, so I might as well just use it as a base of creation. And I think I started with various photos from NASA that I started to kind of experiment around with this nebula type of thing. I think it was I don't know why, but when we started to I discussed this various times with the guys. This was, I think, the second try. I just wasn't happy with the first one. And when I spoke with the guys, they all referenced, it has this kind of interstellar type of feel when he's going into the black hole. And I think that's, again, those subconscious things that we keep in our mind that we kind of try and avoid. You shouldn't really have too many subconscious things, right? And then it's just kind of going around, experimenting with different photos, overlays, and just trying to nail that base sky. So we jumped to here a little bit because I had other stuff that I was working on, but basically it's just trying to understand, blur a little bit of those fractals that we have, and kind of overlaying and screening them. So this was part of the process, and I think any one of those concepts, Timon, even that you and Antoine came up with, are super good. I think they're super duper powerful, and
well,
I
think the goal as well on that was to take the concept and to push it to like a more polished finish, something we could actually give a client with refined details and everything, which is not really easy to do.
No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, this was a lot of fun. I have to say, this was kind of one of the more freeing types of images that, we watch this artist, well, at least myself, Antoine and Timon have a bit more of the concept vibe. So it's good to kind of get out of our comfort zone and really try something else.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's like you just took the idea here and like the big lines and just went with your own version as well, especially later on. And I think it's really cool to see, man. I really enjoyed how this image came out. The sketch was very strong as well, so it's not easy.
The sketch was amazing. Antoine, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You did a really good job, and then he was like giving me words of support, like, "Yeah, it's nearly there. Yeah." So it feels good as the boss to be directed.
Like everybody did a great job on this one. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun, man. All the concepts. What's funny is each of those concepts could have generated an image that we could easily have dived into, and I think the concepts themselves. Like super interesting. Lukasz, you're gonna grab this, right? You said you're gonna like grab this and do some own mixing up on your own.
Yeah. I mean, I really like this model, and gonna be nice to try something else. But that's when I find some time to do that.
It looks like. Sorry, go for it.
No. Go, you go for it.
No, it looks like a marlin fish. If you kind of, it has this marlin type look, like a sailfish being pulled into this vortex or something like that.
But I would love to see what other people can come up with such a model. Especially you can find it for free on NASA. So if you create anything inspired from this, feel free to share it as well.
Yeah, I think we are going to have the renders for this up in a free download below, and potentially also the PSD. We are also, of course, to support the channel and keep us going. Again, you'll see us sharing screens and talking a little bit about what we like and dislike. But anyway, just going back. So yeah, you can grab these. You can grab these renders below. And we thought also if the person who comes up with something really cool and submits it to our Arky9 Learn channel, we will basically we'll invite to jam with us on a future image. That's also one of the things we wanted to do, open up a little bit to the community. So you can grab these and kind of come up with your own thing. Sorry about that. That's my dog and his plush toy.
Yeah, mine's barking as well in the background.
I should mute myself. They always find like the exact time for it. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what everyone comes up with. And yeah, it's also to have a little bit of fun. And you've already got the 3D part out of the way. And yeah, hopefully we can see what everyone comes up with. And maybe we can get someone on our channel.
Yeah, really excited with that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Antoine, do you think in the end we got there? Does it do your image justice, even though it's kind of different?
Yeah, like it went beyond expectations, and I feel like we
really.
Like we chose, but we chose a great image to do 3D over because some images, like even though they were great, they like doing some 3D of them. Like wouldn't bring anything to the table.
Yeah.
But this one, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I like to see as well like how difficult it is to work a space image like that, because every element you add is something you really need to think a lot about, and it has to work straight away, because you're not actually using a lot of different elements. You've got beams, you've got these satellite structures and stars, but it's not like a usual visual where you can add, I don't know, vegetation, a lot of sun, you can add people, you can add a ton of different things to bring a story and, to give it some punch. But here, I feel like it's a lot more complex with such images.
Yeah, these are much more difficult than they look.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like you have to have a warm-up for these because it's so different, the type and style, and just you don't have depth to play with, and there's a kind of a feeling, and this is more or less the final image of what we came up with. But yeah, you don't have depth and you don't have that feeling. It's kind of different to real world, and yeah, you just have to get used to this different type of palette.
I love how dynamic the final looks. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, dude. It was a great base from Mr. Antoine. He did a fantastic job. Alright guys, it's our third weekend that we've done this this beautiful remote working. How are you guys doing? I wanted to include you guys in this last outro bit.
Good. I mean, what can I say? It's we have to make the best out of it.
Yeah. Do you guys miss working together?
Yes, I miss a lot.
Well, we sort of are sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking how this is amazing. I think it's good, you can get work done, but I don't think this is amazing as creatives. Creatives bind together with the creative vibe. So, do you guys feel that's the same, or?
Yeah, from one side, yes. From the other, I continue spending time on Skype talking or Zoom or things with everyone continuously. But yeah, being in the office is obviously different. So.
It is, isn't it? Like,
and I think the change of environment helps. I mean, you know, I think that you, Pedro, your advantage and my advantage here is that you have a separate place, I have a separate place as well to work, and I just get out of this room and I don't have to be there. But as you can see, guys that were working in their kitchens, that must be like you work in the same. You eat, you spend time. That's not very nice.
It could be worse.
I go prepare supper or something, and I just turn on the monitor. I check renders.
I don't think the work, like, this may sound like I'm kind of self-promoting us here, but I don't think the work has suffered at all. I think the quality of the work, if not, probably has gone up a little bit because you don't have as much distraction. So
yeah, I think as well. That probably the quality increased as well because everyone is really careful, like really pays a lot more attention on things, and reviews continuously. We are reviewing a lot.
Yeah, but I think it's also taking more responsibility as well, because like it's really easy in the office. You've got the boss 2 meters from you. You just, I'm not sure about that. I just stand up and go ask. And here it's like, okay, before bothering someone, let's just try to figure it out ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's also a big
yeah, definitely, yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's crazy, and the world we live in, and how we've gotten here, and now we're all remote, and yeah, it is what it is, right? Did you guys like the image we did for the art jam?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, very nice.
I love it.
Yeah. The concepts were amazing. The Timon and oh man, I can do this. Timon and Antoine, not you, Danny. Antoine came up with the concepts, and we just took it from there and kind of did the matte painting of it. So I think it's a good way to bring everyone together. This week was Antoine. And the next, I think we'll have one of you guys vary it. Anyway, I wanted to do this small outro, just with everyone, so that everyone got a little bit of props for the end of the week and for doing a great job and keeping strong. Because I know, like, you know, as much as everyone comes out, I'm so well, it's amazing. It's freaking hard, and I think we're all like supporting each other. Yeah, big thank you to all of you guys, and hopefully we get back to our studio as well and we keep creating. And in the next weeks, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can bring, because I think we're going to vary up the themes and do a little bit, play to everyone's strengths.
Great, sounds like amazing.
Yeah, anyone have any final messages?
Just stay home, stay
Subscribe.
safe.
Stay home, stay safe, and guys,
do it in post.
Do it in hit the bell and do it in post.
and stop buying 5 things instead of one like you used to.